Hey everyone, welcome to the Permission Portal with Paul Mark and Laz. I'm Paul Mark.
And I'm Laz. Let's open the portal.
So, before we really get started, I want to give some respect to Malcolm Jamal Warner and most recently Dr. Danielle Spencer, who have passed away. I think I always wanted to be like D on what's happening, you know. But I do want to say that we've lost some wonderful Blackers, and I just want to give them some respect. Hmm. All right. So, on with the show. I have been very sex positive, and I actually have celebrated sexuality in most of its forms. I even would participate in different activities, and even the ones that I don't participate in, I celebrate that somebody else finds it wonderful, and I am very supportive of that. I used to host rooms on Clubhouse in a club called Spiritual Masturbation. It still exists. I haven't been on there for a while, but I was doing 3 days a week. I was doing rooms in there. It was a club that celebrated masturbation in all its forms, be it spiritual, mental, or physical. And we had a lot of people that came through there. In this space, we actually had some conversations with this person that is our special guest today. It was a fantastic space to have some talk about masturbation and some talk about how people felt about it. It's interesting, the people that showed up in this space were people who were either genuinely curious or who hadn't were a little shy to even ask because they hadn't been told about it. And then there were some that were arrogant that were like, well, I don't need to masturbate because I've got different people in my life that do this. And it's like, I've always looked at masturbation as something that I get to do, not something that I have to do or something that's a chore or a less than. As a matter of fact, for me, sometimes masturbation is better than the actual sex because it's easily accessible and I don't have to worry about somebody else. I know me. There are many times that I have been with someone and then afterward been like, okay, now let me do this right myself. Have you felt that though? Have you had anything like that?
Nah, not me.
Have you had thoughts on it?
Personal masturbation.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't?
What are your thoughts?
It can be a healthy thing. And for a lot of men growing up, like it was me, it could be a fucking unhealthy thing.
Oh, unhealthy. How?
Doing it too much, spending your sexual energy, always doing it. It can be an unhealthy thing.
Interesting. So,
Because it's the frequency that goes into it. Just like anything. Eating burgers can be unhealthy. Eating sugar can be unhealthy. Drinking water can be unhealthy.
if you drink too much,
A lot of people growing up in religious households, they're told not to do it, and then they go off and do it. And it's a whole bunch of shame attached to it. And then they wonder why. I'm telling you from personal experience. So it can be an unhealthy thing until a person comes to grips with that.
yeah, so I never had that shame aspect to it.
Right.
I can definitely tell you that there was a time when I was actually active before I discovered masturbation, and then I was like, that will never work. But I
Oh,
tried it,
yeah.
and it was really great. So, and now I'm a big proponent of it, especially in May because May is National Masturbation Month, and I celebrate that. It's also my birthday's at the end of May. So I thought, okay, mental health and masturbation are both my month. And I was like, this is great. This is
It's a
wonderful.
great topic for real.
This is absolutely wonderful. So I and in spiritual masturbation, we did a whole thing every day of May. It's like, have you masturbated yet? So I think it's really wonderful. And there were some people who pushed back again because they had the shame, because it was something that was, off the beaten. Our guest today is someone that I met in those clubhouse times and someone that I really enjoyed getting to meet. His name is Carl. He also goes by Toy Guy. So I met him as Toy Guy. I'm so used to calling him Toy Guy. He is the founder and owner of Platinum Treasures Adult Novelties and Lingerie. It's a brand dedicated to promoting sexual health, pleasure, and empowerment through high quality products. It's a thriving online business, and I have bought a few things from there myself. Um, there are a couple of things I bought just because they were green. I haven't used them, but I bought them because they were green and because I wanted to support.
Wow.
So, welcome, Toy Guy, to the portal.
What up, toy guy?
What's going on, you guys? How's everything? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Not a problem, man. I actually enjoy this business, so it's all good to me.
And so you've been in business for 14 years?
14 years, that's correct.
Okay. So how did it get started? What was your impetus?
That's an interesting question. So it all started back when I was in college. I'm my parents' first child. I ended up going to college. My parents gave me $20 and told me that was supposed to last me the entire semester. That's crazy, right? So
Right.
ultimately, that $20 lasted me maybe about 2.5 weeks. So I ended up running out of money. So I got the grant to become an entertainer or a stripper, right? I did that. I ended up meeting a woman by the name of Audra who owned a business in East Baltimore called Desire Lingerie. She used
Hmm.
to help me get outfits. From there, she kind of connected me to the adult novelties business, and pretty much it took off from there. I never really wanted to do toy parties. I kind of just wanted to play the background. And I had a
Okay.
rep at the time, and that rep couldn't do a party because of a conflicting schedule. So I actually had to step in and do the party. And when I did, I walked into a situation where it was like over 30 women drunk, having a good time. And when I tell you 2.5, 3 hours later, when I was finished that party, they had such a great time. They were hugging, kissing on me, like giving me all these different names, Toy Boy, Toy Man. And then somebody said Toy God, the name stuck, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow.
Boom. Nice.
So you have a strong passion for pleasure, education, and wellness. Where did that come from?
Well, actually, it all started from when I was dancing. I used to do, when I was doing bachelorette parties, ladies' nights, things of that nature, I would always see the other companies out there, right? I'm not going to call any names, but a lot of those companies would say, oh, men couldn't be invited and things of that nature. But what I always saw is that a lot of those parties didn't involve us. They didn't involve men. They didn't involve a lot of black people. And most of the time, if it was black women, it was always like a white rep, but nobody really spoke to us. And I actually saw that that was a niche. I thought it was something that I could get into. And then also amongst my friends and lady friends and my male friends, I never really heard any of us talking about masturbation, anything like that, sex toys, high quality sex toys, whatever the case may be. And I just thought that it would be a good avenue to get into. I just really wanted to educate my people. I really just saw that there was a niche. So I started taking classes. I started educating myself on products. I started using products and trying them out. And then after every toy party, I got better and better. And then my education, I got more informed. And then I realized there was a lot of people that was like myself that didn't know. They'd never had an orgasm before. They didn't know what a good quality product was. Surprisingly, I've met women that don't even know where their clitoris is, G spot, all those
What?
different types of. Absolutely. I've met guys that think that masturbation is them having sex with multiple women or women sucking them off and all of those, or pleasuring them and all those different types of things. There was a lot of bad information out there. A lot of people look towards porn and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know what? I got something here. And what I
Yep.
did is I just pretty much had fun with it, but I also sprinkled in a little bit of education here and there. And then here we go.
Wow. So say more about that. So I've actually had some experiences with men that kind of felt like they were just jerking off into me.
Yeah. Well, what I think it is that men, I'm not going to say all men, but I can really just attest to speaking for black men, right?
Mhm.
And also being a heterosexual black man, it's just, we're just paralyzed on, not being able to be ourselves, our genuine selves. Because when
Mm.
we grow up, We're taught not to show emotions. When you go to the barbershop and you're talking amongst your fellow guys at the barbershop, is how many women you had sex with, is how big your penis is. It's all of the alpha male talk and all those things that go into it. And then, guys, even through our music that we listen to, right? Like you can't wear open-toe sandals. You consider to be gay and all of these different things. And even like women, they don't create safe space. Well, I'm not going to say all women, but some women don't create safe space for men. Men they haven't given themselves that permission, and the world haven't given them that permission to be able to be their authentic selves, whatever it look like. A lot of us are operating with a facade, right? Through fancy cars, smoking, trying to be a drug dealer, want to be a rapper, want to have a bunch of tattoos and all that stuff. When in actuality, you'll find more comfort in yourself and just, being out in the world, just being yourself. Because it
Mhm.
actually happened to me. You and I had this conversation before where like I got married. I'm on my honeymoon. Now check this out, lads. It is 95 plus degrees in St. Lucia. I am walking on the beach with jeans on, Jabot jeans, a Jabot t-shirt, and
Jabot?
yeah,
I ain't seen
Jabot?
that in a
right.
minute,
This
yo.
so this is a long time
I
ago,
was
right?
like, this was a while back.
Exactly, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Word to the gray head. But like,
You a
and then
fly.
for
yeah,
real.
and then I was wearing foam posits. So I'm literally on the beach, hot as hell,
Mm.
right? It took my wife to look me in my eyes and be like, yo, it's okay to wear linen pants and flip-flops or sandals, whatever the case may be. And I was like, nah, real bleep, don't do that. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And then she started laughing at me. And then when I got back home, I realized I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something. I went to Old Navy. Shout out to Old Navy. I bought the $2 flip flops at the time. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it was a struggle once I put them on, right? Everybody was going to be like, what are those? And laughing at me while I walk down the street, whatever the case may be. Coming to find out, it was all in my head. Yeah, man, it's rough.
Can't even wear linens and flip flops when it's hot.
None of that, bruh. Back then, no. You
Next level
jeans,
right there.
shorts. You never showed your toes. Even if you wore the Nike or the Adidas slides, you had fresh white socks on. And
Oh,
so I say all that to say is that, it's those type of things that paralyze men over time. And we really can't be comfortable in ourselves. Like me now, 40 plus years old, I don't really care what another black man or another man say about me. I'm comfortable in who I am, right? You know what I mean? You're not paying any bills. I'm married. It's nothing a woman can say to me out of the ordinary. Like I'm not gonna say I've done it all, but I've done enough. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
hey, like, whatever they can say to me, I can easily negate it. So once men get to that level where they are comfortable with themselves and within themselves, they're gonna continually have those issues.
so now, how are we educating
Mm.
and how are we grouping in men specifically?
So I started out like really educating like the ladies, and that has been great. And then slowly but surely, I've had guys reach out to me, inbox me on Facebook, inbox me on Instagram, whatever the case may be. And they really just start asking questions. So then I, in turn, ended up creating like a group where I can get guys to join no matter what your sexual orientation is, and essentially get us all together to be able to talk. Cause so it's sort of
Are you
like
actually having conversations in that group?
we are. It's not it's
Because I've been involved in many groups and like even one for men that were uncircumcised, one for men that are questioning and
right.
bi and questioning or married and bi and many of those groups end up being dick trading at the
I
end of the day.
What does
Yep.
that mean?
Trading pics.
Yep. So that tried to happen. I cut that out. And my thing is more so just trying to educate. And sometimes, they may comment, they may not, but at least I can see that they see the information, right? And my thing was to create a safe space to allow men just to be able to be themselves, no matter what it is. If you come into the group and you toxic, whatever the case may be, I'm not here to point a finger at you and be like, yo, you're a toxic man. This and that. You get enough of that out in the world, right? If you come in a group and you bisexual, you gay, whatever the case may be, I want it to be a safe space, especially amongst African American men. I want us to be able to all coexist. We should all be able to coexist. I don't have a problem with a gay man or a bisexual man or even a man that's DL, whatever the case may be. It's whatever you like, whatever you like. But a lot of us, right, toxic masculinity and whatever the case may be, like
Mhm.
we see a gay man, enjoying his life, and we just have to say something negative, right?
Gotta be
Like look at
negative.
this bag, or he's gay as in a third. What is it bothering you? Like, you follow what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't smoke weed, but I don't get mad and pissed off at people that smoke weed. Now, if you happen to be on a kid's playground or we're indoor at a concert or something like that, and it clearly say no smoking, you know what I mean? Do you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my cup of tea, but who am I to stop you? And I feel like that's the type of attitude that we need to have. Don't yuck another person's yum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever they're into, let them be into it. If you're curious and you want to learn, great. If you want to indulge, cool. If you don't, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's online, whether it's in person, keep it moving. And that's
Yeah,
what I would really like to see amongst us as men, but more importantly, as Black men. We can literally all coexist. We can go out to eat. We can go grab a drink. We can go to the beach, whatever case may be. Nobody says that lads got to be hugged up with Paul Mark and vice versa. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
at the end of the day, like, we can all coexist. We're getting attacked right now on all angles.
yeah,
So you would really want to see that it should be a safe space amongst our people. And that Christian mentality, the Bible, all that type stuff,
yo,
all of that stuff plays a factor in this, and it's just ridiculous. And I'm just looking to try to change the tides as much as I can. And anytime guys come to me and they have questions, I just really try to be honest and upfront with them. It's not a sale for me to make money or whatever case. I genuinely want to see what your problem is, what you're curious about. And if I can help you, I'm going to help you. And if I can't, I'm going to be honest with you.
yeah.
I'm not the person to be able to assist you.
There are a lot of people who have come to me, like even for massage. And really, it's a edge push for them to have someone with a penis touch them.
Yep.
Then once they get comfortable, they want to start touching me, and it's like, mm-mm,
Right.
not you did not pay for that,
Right.
And I think that as in society, if you go back in history, there have been societies where it was okay to just be sexual in
Yep.
general.
Yep.
Mm,
And as long as you got married and popped out some kids, you could do whoever you wanted
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
in
I
your
agree.
free time. And
Yeah.
so, and it was one of those things where not only were you allowed concubines or, servants, sexual servants,
Hmm.
but it was okay for you to have male and female. You had everything available. And
Hmm.
I don't know where we lost track of that, but
Hmm.
here, and I think it is because we are more of a Puritan nation still. And
let
we're
Hmm.
me,
seeing that happen.
I got something to say about this.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we are more of a Bible thumping nation,
Yeah.
and there is a lot of stuff that's going on right now. You mentioned DL, and it's interesting that for the DL people, I understand their plight, and some people have, I've been accused of being anti-DL, and it's like,
Hmm.
no, because some of my best sugar daddies were DL.
Hmm.
However, I think it's really sad that they have to be.
They feel
Yeah.
like they can't be themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where it is. And
Yeah.
for people like there were some people who are outwardly saying I'm bisexual. It's like, well, I've always liked the idea of homo flexible, hetero flexible. I
Yeah.
mean, I support the gay alphabet. However, does everybody need to have a letter?
Yeah.
Can
Mhm.
No.
we simplify it just a little bit?
I totally agree with you. I see the ladies really have empowerment brunches and conferences when they can jump into these different LS groups and say that they're bisexual, they polyamorous, whatever the case may be, they
And
pansexual,
LS
and
groups,
and and
yes.
and all of that stuff is celebrated, right? But then says that he's bi-curious, if he say he's bisexual, or let's just say he says he's like something different than pussy and he's
Yeah.
heterosexual. It's like as if he has leprosy, right? I'm just looking to try to change that narrative across the board because, not all of us are on that same wavelength, but I really want to try to make it as comfortable as possible and to allow, especially Black men, to really be themselves. And I really think when they're able to be themselves, they in turn, become knowledgeable, but then they become better pleasure partners over time.
And I also feel that in a relationship, whomever you decide to be in relationship with, once you are in a monogamous relationship, then
Mhm.
everything is on the table. So if you are curious about something, find a way, as a partner to say, okay, let me support you in this. Even if it's not your yum, you can
Right.
at least give it a good college try. And I feel that one of the best dates that I've ever been on is going to the toy store.
Yeah.
Back in the day when it's not as nice as it used to be or as fun as it used to be, because now this thing where everybody's just kind of in your business. But
Right.
to go to a mega toy store and just go in and would take my then boyfriend over to pick out a lube and we would talk about what we're going to do with it, and it was just a little lube education that we would do if a person was into, since I'm if I'm dating someone that's a bottom, I want them to know about the cleanliness and stuff, and
Right.
they're not using my ex's,
Hmm.
you know,
Right.
to cleanse out. And so it's like, we're going and we're doing this, we're shopping together, we're getting you a little kit for yourself. The same with, if I break up with someone and they leave a sex toy behind, I'm not using that on the next person. And
Right.
it's amazed me the number of people who are not confident enough to go and get their own sex toy
Yeah.
will be in the middle of something and be like, do you have any toys? I might, but I'm not
Yeah.
using them on you.
Right. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
And you haven't been into my office, but on this wall that I'm looking at, I have a bunch of penis sculptures. So I collect crystal penises.
Gotcha.
I have a whole lot. And I had somebody be like, would you use that dildo on me? That is not a dildo. That is art.
Right.
And I was very upset. I was like, I wish you would.
That shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting how a man that has been suppressed or repressed for so long will over sexualize things. And
Yep.
because now it's like, oh, well, the door is open and there's a floodgate that comes out.
Yeah, with what Paul Mark was saying about a man who's been repressed will over sexualize things.
I
We'll talk
totally
about it.
agree.
I have something to say. Earlier, you were talking about men and being able to be themselves, being able to be around people who have different sexual orientations and being comfortable with themselves. My experience personally, me and Paul Mark, this is one of my best friends now. And
Right.
Paul Mark, years ago, 6 years, 7 years ago, ain't no fucking way Paul Mark's number would have been in my phone.
I agree with you. I
None.
can
I
actually agree.
don't know.
Shit. No fucking way. And
Right.
years ago, I started to unravel all of that stuff. And then I met Paul Mark. And then that
Mhm.
person, Zer from Baltimore, we were telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
Fam, Zer is a dude. Zer is bisexual.
Multisexual,
Okay,
omnisexual.
so omni. I, I mean, I think I know what that might mean, but I need to look it up. But Zer, I saw Zer one day. We were setting up for the Condor. I saw Zer, and I'm like this. Zer is like 130-pound dude
Very svelte.
in a an A shirt and a orange speedo.
Mhm.
And I saw Zer doing stuff, and I was just like, something came up in me because I saw him online, but now I see him in person. This is what I see him in. And so something came up in me where I saw him setting up some stuff, and I asked another coach, hey, is he doing a presentation? Zer was doing a presentation that week on something called the logic ceiling. I went and volunteered for it because I knew there was some other healing behind it. I got tied up Shibari style by Zer, who is a black man, because I knew there was healing for me and healing the remnants of how I used to hate people like Paul Mark and Zer. And I
Yeah.
was conditioned to hate them based on my religion. It wasn't the real me. I didn't only heal, so did Zer, because Zer used to have an experience with me with people like me, where when he saw people like me, he just knew he was going to get shit.
Right? It's all learned behavior, whether it's from, like your religion, like the church, or, just growing up in the environments that we grow up in,
Yeah.
right? So, I got into church probably around like 8, 9 years old. But my
Yeah.
main thing was my lived experience of just being a black man in Baltimore City, right? It's like
Yeah.
moving around, it's just like, you can do this, you can do that, you can't do this, you can't do that type thing. Literally, it took for my wife to be like, it's okay to wear linen pants. It's okay to wear flip-flops. It's okay to, go to a nail salon and get a manicure and
Get a
pedicure, all those type
manicure.
of things. And it was just like, what? And she was just like, it's not like you getting color on your nails and all that stuff. And I really
Oh, I
thought,
do.
I
My
know,
dad
but
took me to my first manicure
I
when
do
I was a
full
kid,
color.
bro.
Yes.
yeah, but my thing is we don't learn to take care of ourselves and all that stuff. And the funny thing about it is that, guys be like, oh no, yo, that's gay. But when you go to these locations, you get it done, like the women be all on you. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you take
That's
good
gay
care
to
of
take care of
yourself. You
yourself.
got you
It's
got
gay to
what
get
you
your nails
say.
done and not have.
And then you saying like, what the hell? Like I didn't miss out on all this because I'm trying to be hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
so me personally, I got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I could care less about, you know what I'm saying? Like what you guys think about me. And when I adopted that mentality, life has been great. You know what I mean? Like it's literally been
Can't be
great.
hard all the time.
Exactly. I agree with you 1000%.
It's nice to be hard sometimes, but you don't have to be hard all the time. So, why do you feel male sexuality, male pleasure has been so overlooked, even though we have a porn industry that is geared toward the visuals?
Can you repeat your question for me one more time?
So, why do you feel that male pleasure, male sexuality, sexual pleasure has been overlooked by the adult industry, even though we have a whole industry that's based on the visuals
Right.
of of the porn?
That's a great question. I think, just because, sex sells good looking women and stuff like that, like we're kind of like we're just like the prop, like, like in those videos and stuff like that. And so I think that's what translated, like over time. And then like a lot of us, that's what we have in mind. It's just like, well, why should I pleasure myself when I just need to get like a hot, woman, blonde, black, big, big tits, whatever case may be, nice ass. Marketing has been like towards us. It's the same thing like with sex toys, right? It's just like when you talk about male sex toys, the main color you get is black. I remember standing up and always saying like, hey, can we get other colors? Can we get blue? Can we get red? Can we get yellow? Can we get orange? Can we get green? Like we like other colors besides just black, right? And so slowly but surely it starts to change, and certain brands have been bringing out different toys and different colors and stuff like that. No different than like with women. It was most all pink and purple. Now they started, light purple, light pink, light blue, dark blue, all of these various different shades, glitters, things of that nature. So it just takes time. But my thing is that like in life, we need to have representation at the table. And what I feel is for the African American community and also for the black men, I like to raise my hand to help say that I am the representation or part of the representation for us. That's my thing. You got black women, I mean black women, you got black men dying in alarming numbers, right? All because they don't want to go to the hospital, or because they don't want to go get an annual checkup, whatever the case may be. You got guys not pleasuring themselves and end up having prostate cancer. Well, guess what? A lot of prostate cancer is basically just toxins building up. You know what I'm saying? The more you jerk off, you know what I'm saying, and the more you release those fluids, the likelihood of you getting prostate cancer drastically, decrease. But at the end of the day, we don't
And
know.
getting a prostate massage.
Exactly. Like, but a lot of us don't know those things, right? We don't know
Right.
those things, or just hearing them for the first time. Oh, nah, ain't nobody bending me over, massaging my prostate, you know what I'm saying? And then I gotta be in a feminine position. Nah, that's gay. This and the third. Ain't nobody tell you to bend over and have your ass in the air. Like, if that's what you choose to do, fine. You know what I'm saying? But you could literally lay on your back, you could lay on your side, you know what I'm saying? You could sit down, like you get what I'm saying? And the main thing is that we've been conditioned, you know what I'm saying, that way. And so we lose out on all of those various different types of forms of pleasure. They are
They
now,
are.
they didn't had a reckoning and they're like, I'm going to get pleasure by any means necessary. We're
Right.
still stuck 30 years ago, you know what I'm saying, or 50 plus years ago. That's why we're horrible pleasure partners.
A lot of men just know that if you rub it long enough, something's going to happen.
Yep.
And there's so much more
To
to
it.
sexual pleasure,
Hmm.
and I've had people who were, who wanted to be involved, and
Hmm.
they didn't even know how to kiss. And
Yeah.
it's like, if you can't kiss me well, I'm not letting you into all the rest of this.
Right. Right. Yep.
And when people come to me, or I've had friends of mine that will come to me and ask, "Hey, I'm feeling this way," or whatever. And luckily, I am I'm kind of the Samantha Jones of my friends,
Hmm.
or the Blanche, if you know Golden Girls. But
Yep.
I really am the one that any of them, male or female, will come to me and be like, "Hey, I know you know about this. Can I talk to you about XYZ?" And then they'll go off. And it's like, and what's really funny is I used to be semi-offended by it, but now
Hmm.
it's like, well, I was a professional. I know all of this stuff. So let's talk about it. And I've
Yeah.
embraced it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's fun to be able to have those deeper conversations. I
Yep.
don't like having light conversations. I want to talk about when was the last great orgasm you had? What was the best meal you've had? I want to go deep. And if there is anything that's off center or anything that feels like it's out of balance, let's talk about it and let's
Right.
maybe find what can be adjusted. I have a client now who is trying to get off of a porn addiction. And we talked about what the trigger is and how, but it took 3 sessions to get to the point of talking about what makes you want to lean into it? Where is the point where I'm fine and then, oh, I need this? And
Right.
once we got there, it was like, boom, the whole thing opened up. And
Yeah.
then to be able to masturbate without
The
that
phone.
added
Yep.
stimulus. So to be able to be in your body and to feel your body and to actually feel the pleasures that your body is capable of. It's like if there's something that I don't like, it's because I've tried it and I know my body said, no, not that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But there are lots of things my body said, oh yeah, more of that, and
I
I'm
got
okay
you.
with it. And I will, the first time I'm with someone, we will have that discussion.
Right.
And I want someone that I can have that discussion with before we're even in the bedroom. Like this is a discussion you have at dinner before you get to the next step,
Oh, I agree with you.
because it's all about compatibility and communication is important. And there are
Mhm.
some people who can't even say the words. And it's like, ooh,
Nope. It's all taboo until you get into bed.
see,
Crazy work.
yeah. And it just hurts my heart. It's like, I'm not even, it's not even a shame thing. I'm not in a mindset of I want to punish them. I'm
Mhm.
just going to bless their heart. Well,
Yeah.
I've said that too. So it's important for there to be these conversations. And it's important I had a discussion in this men's group about uncircumcised penises. And many men had horror stories about not knowing how to take care of it and not being told, not being trained. And
Yeah.
it's like you're just left to your own devices. And
Yeah.
it's like you get something and you don't have a user manual for it.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I really will say.
that's what I think like the ladies do a really good job at, right? When they encounter a problem, they work to create whatever, funnels that they need in order to let people know, or women like themselves learn or know like
Right.
how to better take care of themselves or whatever the case may be, right? But us as guys, we don't do those things, right? It's just like if I end up having an ailment or issue, I won't necessarily speak out about it because for fear of being labeled weak, or or whatever the case may be. Like we literally need to stop that. Like our lives depend on it.
Or
In
thinking you
order,
should know the answer.
and so like I tell guys all the time, it's just like, man, like masturbation will save you, like it'll save you a headache and 18 years of child support. And they be looking at me like I'm crazy.
Bro.
It's
Exactly.
just like I'm dead serious. Because like I'm not gonna say a lot of guys, but some guys have sex with women, or what I'm saying, that they don't necessarily really want to be with, but they just want to get
Right.
their rocks off. So at the end
Right.
of the day, you have no condom, you end up going raw, and then you end up squirting, then you end up, she says, I'm pregnant, now you screwed, now you pissed off because you didn't want her to have a kid, but yet you should have been smart enough to use a condom. But
Yeah,
again, that goes back to sex education, right? And now this individual that you didn't necessarily like, y'all just wanted to have a quick fling. Now you are bonded with this person for the rest of your life, at least at a minimum of 18 years, and now it's going to cost you. But guess
Right.
what? You could have came to me, got a sex toy, $30 to $60, whatever the case may be, bust off, and then you could have went to sleep. Post nut clarity is a motherfucker, right?
that's way
And,
less than the month child
and
support.
my point exactly,
Okay.
you get my drift. And guess what? You can constantly reuse it without a headache. So at the end of the day, make it make sense. I be trying to help guys, and guys literally be laughing at me. But then when they think about it, oh, yo, you know what? You're right, yo. I think I need to grab some. I'm just keeping it real with you.
So, did
You
you
go from
bring
there.
any toys for show and tell?
What's
Say it
up?
again.
Did you bring any toys for show and tell?
I did not. However, I do have like a box of toys like over here, just in general. But I'll see what I can pull up. Um,
Well, while you're doing
Slinging sex toys are hardcore. B more is helping these boys heal.
Say it again.
That's what's up.
So while you're doing that, I remember you were talking about having sex because you just want to get your rocks off. I remember when I was in high school, this was junior year, my friend Kelly and I had talked about it. And Kelly's like, when I have kids, if I have kids, I'm going to tell them that they need to masturbate before going on a date. And it's like, yeah, because sometimes, we were talking about how we were going out with people and we were just so excited. She had the car and we had, the means to sneak in to different places. And there were
Yep.
also teen clubs, whatever. But we were talking about how there were so many people doing adult things. And we had a friend who had gotten pregnant, and we were talking about that situation.
Yeah,
And she's like, you know what? Teach the kids to masturbate before going on a date. So that way the pipes are clean and they can think straight.
that's right. That's
And I'm
right.
like,
I agree. I agree with that. So to answer your question as it relates to like some sex toys, so I haven't opened these up yet. I just received this from my good friends at Screaming O. So one of these things right here, if you can see it, is called, you might not be able to see it. Hold on, let me take
Jack,
the blur, let me take
jacket,
the blur off.
jacket,
One
the
second.
pad. For
jacket.
pod or pad?
Right? So this right here is called jackets. So
Okay.
basically it's a stroker, right? So think about it like as like a taco. And what you do is
Okay.
if you curve it upward, right? And then you use it to like stroke your penis, like up and down. Or you can look at it like as a form of a taco or maybe like a hot dog bun, right?
Is
And
it
so like
silicone?
literally you just add lube and then you really just go from there, right? It's waterproof, it's reusable, you know what I mean? The soft and it's like really squishy. So this is something, and it's like easy to travel with as well. So this is something like guys can just throw in their bag and keep it moving. Another one
And
I have here is called jackets, right? And so basically it's exactly what you just said, sort of like a sleeve. So it has
right.
like a little hole, right? Put like lube in it, and then you literally just put it like over your penis, and then you just stroke up and down, up and down. So no matter how big or small you are, right, or your girth, it'll definitely fit you. And then we have the beloved Big O Ritz, right? So this is
I have one of those.
yeah, so this is like a upgrade. This is an
Is
upgrade
that
to my beloved Big O cock ring. I used to love
I
that thing.
love that.
Yes, it does. And when I tell
yeah?
guys it's toys like that, I'm like, man, turn your dick from a non-vibrating dick to a vibrating dick. Basically, you can now be her personal sex toy. And guys be
Exactly.
looking at me
She
like I'm
going
crazy.
crazy.
And it's just like, yeah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about
She
it is
going
like
crazy.
I tell ladies too, like you could stretch it, put it on your tongue, and
Yeah.
turn the vibrator upside down. So when you're giving head, it'll make your mouth vibrate and he'll love it and enjoy it and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said before. So that's just a couple, but I literally have like about they sent me
Oh,
like a box of like 50 products. And then I got something here from Aneros. Shout out to my friends over at Aneros and my good friend Brent over there.
okay.
So let me show you something that I got here. This is the Aneros toy, and this is the UFO Sin, right? So it's literally
Oh,
so
okay.
like this part curves up into your anus, curves and play with your prostate. This comes with a remote control. You can hit the button and control the different patterns and functions. And then literally this part right here is under your testicles, this part right here against your perineum. So these are a lot of toys that I'll be testing out, writing reviews, doing videos and stuff like that. But I just haven't had a chance to get around to it, due to work. I have a lot of stuff for like men. I have a lot of stuff for couples. I have a lot of stuff for like ladies. And just shout out to, Aneros and Screaming No for hooking a brother up. And yeah, like
So now with that, does it roll or does it vibrate or does
it
it?
vibrates. It mainly
Okay.
vibrates. And the vibration that you feel is all through
Okay.
here. So yeah.
Interesting.
So
So
yeah.
now
So
I've seen those that people can insert and
mhm.
give their partner the code for their phone or whatever or the
Oh, yeah, you're talking about wireless Bluetooth toys, right? So one of
yeah.
the companies that's really big on that, that to me does a really good job, is the company that's called Lovin's. Now, We Vibe and all of them have, Bluetooth enabled toys, so does Satisfier. But to me, my personal favorite, I like because of the warranty. I like because of how strong it is. I like because of like the Wi-Fi signal. And then I also like in Bluetooth, I also like that they're constantly updating the toys. So they're constantly challenging themselves. Lovin's toys are a little bit on the expensive side, but it's a great quality and a really great made toy. And it's powerful as fuck. And the cool thing about their toys is not only can you connect it to Bluetooth, if two people have different toys, you guys can have a video call while you're masturbating, right? The other thing is that it vibes to music, so you can sync it to like, like your
Oh my
like
gosh.
Spotify and things of that nature,
I'm
right?
not Boston.
On
That
top
right
of
there.
if you're a webcam guy or webcam girl, you can
Mm.
literally use it for webcam purposes. So prime example, if I got a toy and I'm using it, and let's say someone wants to get access to it, right? I can say for $20 you get 20 minutes, and then after the 20 minutes it cuts them off. So I'm now making money as well. But the cool thing about it is their toys, you can literally connect them anywhere in the world, which I think is really dope.
So a couple has toys and then they sync up and they can, example, man travels away, go as far away, him and his
Yeah.
wife sync up and can FaceTime or whatever each other with that shit.
Or he can give her access and then she can literally control the toy. She
Oh,
can
that's
literally be on
wild.
her phone in the app, moving her thumb up and down in circles, and the toy will be woo, woo, woo. Like she can increase the pattern, she can decrease the pattern, she can connect it to music, whatever the case may be. And he's feeling that pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Like I really like their toys. Like their toys are great.
Oh, great review. Thank you so much.
Oh, question. You got vampire gloves?
Vampire gloves? Yes, I do. You need a pair?
I need one.
No
I only
problem.
experienced it with one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
pair, whatever.
Normally they're a hot commodity and they sell out fast, but yeah, platinum treasures, we definitely carry them. It's just a matter of
Already.
if they're in stock or not. But yeah, just Paul Mark will give you my information on Facebook. That's the
Oh,
easiest way to reach out to me. And then we can go from there. I got you covered.
already.
And like I said, I've bought some things just because they came in green and I thought they were really cool.
Yep.
And it's just like, hey, why not? So a lot of the toys are like black and that's not really my aesthetic. I've looked at people who like get into leather and that whole scheme. It's like, I'm gonna need a different color.
I agree with you. And even in the leather scene, they're starting to like, change the colors and stuff like that. So I think that that's dope as well. Like, about like women toys, right? It's just like when I first started, it was just, white dildos in a couple different sizes. Well, what about black? What about brown? And then things will be stereotyped, right? They'll have a black dildo, but it's like 15 inches long.
Right.
Not every black man has a 15-inch dick, right? You know what I'm saying? Some of them is
Ooh,
two inches, some of them is
that
four, some
was
of them
tough.
is eight, and go from there. You're right. You know what I'm saying? And then we just go from there. But yeah, like having someone at the seat of the table, being able to speak on these various different things, and then pretty much just go from there. But my goal ultimately is just to provide quality products. But more importantly, I just want to see our people be able to enjoy pleasure without the burden of feeling shame.
Do you have a plan to broaden your reach? Do you have a plan to have a brick and mortar or
So So no brick and mortar. However, being able to be online allows me to broaden my reach. Doing podcasts like this actually helped me broaden my reach, right? If you ever bring back the various different groups, I'll jump into that. But the main thing that I've been doing is more so one-on-ones with folks, as well as in the Facebook groups, and then jumping into the various different LS groups and stuff like that. People add me to all types of groups. And then I just tend to share my knowledge here and there, and then people reach out to me, and then we go from there. Doing parties still from time to time. So that's how I pretty much been broadening my reach. And then I'm also going to be working to share my knowledge at colleges and things of that nature as well, because I feel like the young folks going to college need this information too, because they probably didn't learn it in middle school or high school. Now they're going
Are
into an
you
environment.
able to get onto a college campus?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my thing is, if they're going to college, maybe the first year they might be separated, right? Men in here, women there. But by sophomore year, it's going to be co-ed. You know what I mean? They could potentially slip up. And truth be told, it's kind of hard to tell a kid like, hey, you're going to school, make sure you practice celibacy until you graduate. You know, focus on the books. Everything is at your exposure, right? Drugs, alcohol, and sex. Come on, why not educate and give your kids like those tools? So it's just like when a kid go off to school, let's think about it, right? They give them money, they have a meal plan, they have their books, they have all of the materials that they need for like their room, right? Sheets, blankets, cleaning supplies, all of that stuff. But what's the one thing that all parents and family members leave
So
out?
I was on student government. So I was a senator for the College of Fine Arts. And this was back in the 90s. We wanted to get condom machines. And there was such a pushback from the school from the president,
Yep.
school president, and
Hmm.
it was just like, and a couple of the deans where it's like, no, we don't want that. It's like, well, do you want pregnancies here or not?
Yeah.
And it was so funny to be part of that conversation. And it's like knowing that, it's great if we have machines at the dorms for sodas. We even had, other things like toothbrushes and toothpaste or whatever. Why
Hmm.
not just add the condoms?
No.
Well, I mean, you grew up in Texas, in
Oh, yeah.
Dallas, Texas area, and this is the 90s. So
Yeah.
Bible dumpers ain't having that.
Fast forward to 5 years ago when one of my older godchildren went off to New York for college, and I sent them a little care package, and it had like smatterings of different lubes and different condoms of different sizes,
Hmm.
and they are them, but they were born with a penis, and so they were able to reach out and say, "Hey, these were a little tight," and then I was like, "Oh, I'm proud. Our
Yeah.
boy's packing," and so I was like, I had I had such a proud moment because he was like, "Yeah, I have a tough time because they're really tight." I was like, and because you can tell me a a condom brand, and I'm like, I automatically have an idea of what size, like what size it is and how
Yep.
comfortable it would be for whatever size. So if
Yeah.
you're telling me that this is tight, and I was like, well, that's on the above. Oh, it was really wonderful. It was great. And so I think it's important to be able to have someone, and their mom, who was my college roommate, was like, I don't know that I can have that conversation. I was like, okay, fine. That's why there is Uncle Paul Mark.
Yeah.
And
But then,
so
No.
I do that all the time. And I do that, I was the one that taught her how to give head. I was the one that, when she was having a tough time getting to orgasm, and I sent her one of your toys. I
yeah.
went through and I was like, what would you like? What do you need? And we were able to have the conversation about, would she prefer something that was vibrating, something that had licking motion, something that
Mhm.
had a sucking motion, what was going to be best for her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's important to be able to have those conversations with someone.
Agreed.
Mhm.
So, what are you doing these days to move your mission forward and provide safe, inclusive space for people to explore their desires with confidence?
So one of the things is just sharing my story. That's one. Number two, the Facebook group. that I have, and then also the various different groups that people put me in, sharing my knowledge. I also, from time to time, post educational things on my social media so that people can engage with as well. And funny memes just to kind of draw them in, and then I always drop a dose of knowledge on them.
I love
Like,
your Facebook stories.
oh,
I
you do?
love whenever you have a review or if
Yeah.
there's something new and you got pictures of it.
And, doing sex toy reviews, shout out to Masturbation Monday, Freaky Friday, like all of those various different things. And, and people, they engage with all of that type of stuff and go from there. And then before you know it, people in my inbox being like, hey, I have a question. I want to do this. I want to try that. And that's how you get them, man. So that's how I've been really, like my mission. And then also it's been a lot of word of mouth as well. Because as you know, been in the sex industry trying to advertise is super hard, especially online. And then,
Right.
they're attacking everything, even down to our credit card processing.
Yeah.
Just try to stay discreet, but more importantly, everybody I come in contact with, I just try to leave a lasting impression on them, right? Whether you buy
I
something
will,
from me or not, I want you to be educated. So that's the key.
right.
I'm curious. When you
Sure.
meet people who don't know that you're black, but they know who you are, have you
A
ever
different
noticed?
reaction. But now I think, because I've posted photos of myself and you can see
Okay.
photos on my social media and stuff like that. Most of the time, it's always with the folks that don't look like us.
Yeah.
They're initially shocked, but then when I start giving them information and they see the plethora of products, they just be like, oh my God, you are great. Like, like these other
Yeah.
companies are nowhere near like you. Like, you're like the best kept secret. And then amongst the ladies, when I show up, it's just like, oh, he's cute, he's handsome. And then I get to talking and I know my stuff. Then it's kind of like, yeah, I want to buy some stuff, but I also want to buy him too. I want to take him home. So, it is what it is.
So are you wearing a Speedo or a thong whenever you're doing these parties?
Most
Are
of
you
the time,
showing
no,
off? Are
no,
you showing
no,
off?
no. Most of the time, it's just, boxer briefs and pretty much going from there. Because it's a lot of lifting things that I'm carrying, like all of those type of things, and pretty much just going from there.
And do have lingerie as well.
That's correct.
There men's lingerie or men's that
Got men's products, women products,
I
thongs,
love
jock
a
straps,
silk boxer.
silk
Like,
boxers. We got that. Yep. Even down to fishnet body stockings for men. So yeah, you name it, we carry it.
I will tell you, I had some fishnet undies that I got from International Mail back in the day,
Yeah.
and I wore them out, and I was so distracted the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fishnet briefs, and so
Yeah.
every time your pants moved, there was a
Your
tingle.
shit's falling out.
No, no, it wasn't falling out. So every time it's like just walking, I'm like, oh, hi. I was excited the entire time and it was fun.
Yep.
And I've noticed that like in gay culture, there's so much about the jock strap, and I'm not really big on jock, but I do like the underwear that kind of frames the butt. So
Yeah.
it's like a boxer brief, but the frame is there. I do love those.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Check out a company called Rye, AWRY.
Okay.
But yeah, they're a dope company as well.
Oh,
I actually met the people behind the Fleshlight.
Really?
Yeah, they were down in San Antonio.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much, Platinum Treasures in a nutshell.
Right.
I've got nothing but just positive reviews over the years. And I really just try to treat people the way I want to be treated. If you
yeah.
order a product from Platinum Treasures and want to get it out in a timely manner, if there's an issue where we don't have a specific color that you might have ordered, anything like that, we definitely want to make sure that's communicated to you. And if you want to change colors or maybe a different product, whatever, when we make a mistake, we definitely try to own up to it and go from there. So it's been great. When I tell you it's been great, it's been great. And then the education portion has been cool too. And then I've learned a lot as well. So yeah, it's been awesome. Holla at me, I got you, player.
I'll do it, bro.
All right. So
We'll get connected.
is there one thing that you would like to give our audience permission to do?
Mm, I really, I really want to give the audience or your audience the permission to explore, right? Whatever you think, try it. I've had clients that want to go to like, males that want to go to a male review. Do it, right? You may want to try masturbation for the first time. Try it. You may
Yes.
try anal. Try it. You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you don't like unless you try it. So my thing is like, with all due respect, just try it. The guilt, the shame, and all that stuff, I get it. But at the end of the day, you can rise above that and just be discreet and do what you need to do, or reach out to people like myself, people like Paul, Mark, that's in this industry, that takes discretion, what I'm saying, like seriously, and can really get you what you need and can be discreet about it. I know I'm an open book. You can ask 1,000,001 questions. I'll do my best to answer your questions. But my goal is to make sure that you're comfortable and you're able to try things and thoroughly enjoy it. And then hopefully you come back and you'll be a repeat customer. But the main thing is that I really want to see people enjoy pleasure. It's your birthright, so to speak, right? You really should not suppress that side of you, whatever it is. I'm not saying that you need to walk around and be like, hey, I'm a hoe and I love it and I'm gay and I like to use all types of sex toys. You don't have to do that at all, right? Just try, enjoy, and then go from there. And then build your tribe, right? Those people that might look like you, talk like you, or enjoy the same things that you enjoy. And trust me, your experience sexually will grow and it'll be that much better.
Oh, well, thank you, Toy Guy, for coming into the portal with us. Coming into the portal. But thank you for joining us here. Let our listeners know where to find you.
How they can actually reach out is through our website is www.pttreasures.com. So that's PTTREASURES.com. You can also reach out through email toyguy@pttreasures.com. So TOYGUY@PTTREASURES.com. You can find me on Facebook under Toy Guy. You can find me on Instagram under PT_treasures. Same thing for X as well. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Any of those platforms, you can hit me up and I'll see the message or my team will see the message and we'll get back to you ASAP and we can go from there. And then also too, I'll be throwing up some new anal toys for anal August because it's anal August and we can pretty much go from there.
August. Oh, wait, this August.
So that's something that's also dope and cool. I'm easygoing. I just want to see people enjoy. A lot of our products have warranties, and if they don't have warranties, then we offer a 1-year warranty on a product. If you order something from us, it's not going to come in a box that says Dicks R Us or nothing like that. Actually, it's going to come in a discreet label, and most likely in a brown box or maybe like a manila color padded envelope. And, discretion is key. I've shipped to churches, hospitals, people's jobs, their homes, like you name it. I've turned almost every place you could think of into a toy trap. So
You ship to churches, bro?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Church is
man, I need to
chicken.
know more
Deacons
about
and
this.
deaconesses,
Oh my goodness.
administrative assistants at churches. Yeah, man. And people trust me, man. I even brought up the people on Capitol Hill and in Congress. Yeah, I get busy.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much.
Problem. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
So thank you for joining us in the portal, and please like and follow for more. Check out our links in the description and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Share this with a friend, maybe a few. And if you have questions or topics for us, send them to thepermissionportal@gmail.com. Remember,
The portal is always open.